Hi, Edina Jackson here for Pink Intrigue. This video is actually a response video to Zoella's video about anxiety and panic attacks, and I've actually experienced this before. I first had a panic attack in 2010. I think I might have experienced panic attacks prior to that, but I just think that I just didn't know what it was, so I can't really categorise that as a panic attack. But I first experienced a panic attack in 2010. And it was basically something that occurred as a result of being in a very, very crowded environment. And I left that crowded environment and ended up getting locked in a bathroom. And so that is what, I think that's what sparked the whole sort of panic attack. And when I would go into places where I had to, public toilets where I had to lock the door, I would get panicky and stuff. But then I had a couple of panic attacks in 2010. Then 2011, I had one other panic attack that was quite serious, and I was going to go to hospital, but I didn't end up going. And in 2012, I had a very serious panic attack where I actually went to the hospital, actually saying that I was thinking that I was having a heart attack. I actually thought I was having a heart attack, because that's what it can feel like, because your heart is beating a million miles an hour. You feel tingly. You feel like sometimes you can actually feel like you're like you can't feel your hands and feet, and you feel numb, and you can feel nauseous. You can feel giddy. You can feel like you're going to faint or you're going to pass out. And I actually had all of those feelings. I actually felt like I was actually having a heart attack. They told me it's anxiety, it's a panic attack, don't worry about it, you just calm down. There is medication that you can take for anxiety disorders like this, but I decided I wouldn't go down the road of, the medications, and I just actually took a more holistic approach to managing this disorder, so to speak. And what I did was I just I took a look at my diet. Diet is very important when it comes to things like anxiety, because if you consume too much sugar, it can actually trigger anxiety. If you consume too much caffeine, it can trigger anxiety. And I only realised this quite recently for the caffeine side of things, because I went to my parents' house and I had a whole cup of coffee, and I don't really drink coffee that much, so it kind of made me, I started getting, like, my heart was beating really fast, and so it started making me panic, and I went downstairs and actually just kept on drinking loads of water because I wanted to just kind of flush out the caffeine. And then I realised I was having a panic attack. That was, a panic attack, basically. And that was quite frustrating, but, for me, I've managed to manage this disorder, so to speak, by doing yoga and just generally exercising. I find that when I don't exercise, I feel anxiety more than if I was not to exercise. So exercise, yoga, Pilates, general just jogging. I hate jogging, but I've been doing it anyway. Just dancing about the house, basically, just trying to sort of get the endorphins flowing in the system. And I just drink plenty of water. One other thing that's absolutely has massively helped me has been green smoothies and green juices. Probably thinking, how does that even work? But green leafy vegetables such as spinach and kale and various other leafy vegetables like Swiss chard and others, they contain magnesium, and magnesium has been known to be nature's natural tranquilizer. So if you consume more products that have magnesium in them, you'll feel kind of it kind of levels out your mood, and it also makes you feel. It also alkalizes the body, so you don't feel so acidic. And I know it sounds strange, but I find, and that might not be for everybody, people might think, oh, she's chatting rubbish, but I find if I eat too many foods that have got a high acidic content, I find that it actually can help to trigger the feelings of anxiety. It might not happen all the time, but it can help to actually increase the chances of you having an attack or feeling anxious. So if you're someone who does suffer with anxiety, it is a very good idea to reduce the caffeine, reduce the chocolate, because chocolate has caffeine in it. A lot of people don't actually realise this, they give it to their kids, but chocolate actually contains caffeine, so it's not something that you should really be consuming in high levels if you suffer with anxiety, because it can actually make it worse. Well, the thing is, you know what, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really, I can't tell someone what to do, but from my own experiences, consuming high levels of chocolate and caffeine doesn't fare well for me at all. One of the things that has been a massive help generally in making me feel a lot calmer has been chamomile tea. Obviously everybody knows that chamomile tea calms you down, so chamomile tea has really helped, and also increasing my water intake has actually been a massive help as well for me. So I haven't had a panic attack since 2012, obviously 2013 now, but that was around about the beginning of 2012, and I haven't had a panic attack since then. So I think that, you know, the diet, general lifestyle can actually help to improve the condition, even if you might have a panic attack again. You know, you won't experience it as frequently as you would have before if you sort of try and think about your lifestyle, and also try and modify your way of thinking as well. I like I kind of modify my thought process before I even leave the house, because I used to go through this process of, before I leave the house, I would feel absolutely terrified that something was going to go wrong. And so my heart will be beating a million miles an hour before I've even left the front door, you know. And so I kind of think in my head before I sort of talk to myself in my head, saying, you know, everything's going to be okay, and I'm going to get to my destination and come back safely. It's almost like a meditation prayer kind of thing before I go, and then most of the time, you know, I'm fine. But another thing that used to kind of really cause this anxiety would be like really like social situations that would mean that I would be in a room full of a lot of people, like networking events and things like that. I couldn't even imagine entering any of those places. Another thing that really did make me anxious as well was when I would go to like mother and baby, because I've got a little boy, mother and baby classes and things like that. That would be, you know, before I'd even left the house, I would be thinking about all the things that could go wrong on the way there, all the things that could go wrong when I'm in there. When I get in there, people don't want to talk to me. Like, so many things caused me to feel that anxious feeling that could have led to a panic attack if I had allowed those feelings to consume my thoughts at that time. But I've learned to kind of just modify my thought process and do certain things before I leave the house, before anything. And the thing is, not even just leaving the house, because you can be in the house and have a panic attack. You can just be sitting around doing nothing and just get that feeling of panic. But I've just generally learned to modify my thought process, change my diet, exercise more regularly, and it's been great. I'm not really feeling. I don't really have those feelings of anxiety so much anymore. They do crop up sometimes, but not to the level that will make me actually have a full-blown panic attack. So if anyone's experiencing these feelings of anxiety and panic, and you've been to your GP and you still feel like you know, whatever medication you've been given isn't really helping you, or you might still feel those levels of anxiety, you know, think about trying to include exercise into your regime, and also trying to include more fresh fruits and vegetables, increase your intake of green leafy vegetables, and another major thing is just to talk to people about it. Talk to your family, talk to your closest friends, because one thing that people do when they suffer with anxiety, a lot of the time they don't say anything because they feel ashamed. So they just keep it to themselves, and that can actually make the condition worse because you're keeping it to yourself. And so all those feelings are just boiling up inside you, and you're not actually releasing that, you know, those feelings of anxiety. So it's a really good idea for you to talk to people, talk to your friends, talk to your family, even talk to people online if you don't have friends, because there's loads of people out there that don't have friends. Talk to people online that might be experienced, because there's millions of people out there that have experienced this exact same thing. Celebrities that you might think are, you know, the picture of health, or people that maybe you might think they're always composed and always seem cool and calm. Those people have experienced, some of them have actually experienced depression, they've experienced anxiety, they've experienced, you know, so you don't know that some people that you would not even expect to have experienced these kind of things have experienced these kind of things. So just remember and think that you're actually not alone, because at the end of the day, even like massive YouTubers like Zoella have even said that she's had these feelings before. So there's other people that have experienced like this before, so don't feel like you're alone in this situation. Anyway, I don't really want to ramble on any much longer, otherwise I'll just end up speaking all night. But thank you very much for watching these videos and this video. And if you're into natural skincare, then you can check out my channel. I do some natural skincare stuff, but also vlogs and stuff on there too. So anyway, thank you.